Hello dear students, so let's continue with our discussion on single phase control rectifiers. Earlier we saw some certain parameters that are related to power electronic circuits waveforms, and now let's begin with the rectification process. And in your course we are going to do the control rectification, or we can say that we are going to use thyristors instead of diodes. So there are two things that you should always consider. First of all, try to write the operation yourself. Okay, I'm going to explain the things over here. You have to write the operation yourself. Second thing, always try to make these circuits and the waveforms yourself. Okay, draw it by your hand. I mean, don't just rely on seeing things. Draw the circuit and the waveform yourself. Okay, before going to controlled rectification, let me begin with the half wave uncontrolled rectifier that we all know. So let us have a brief revision about this circuit. We are having an AC supply over here that can be given by Vn in terms of time, or omega t, Vm sine of omega t. Now we can write this maximum value in terms of RMS values. That means root 2V sine omega t. V is the RMS value. We know that from the study of our first year course that V maximum, if you write something as maximum, we have to write M over here, and if you are not writing M over here, then it means it is the RMS value. Fine. So this dotted line basically is the actual sinusoidal waveform that we are having as our input supply. Okay, this Vn. Now in the positive half cycle, this diode is forward biased and the current starts flowing through this circuit. So this red line, and in the negative half cycle we know that this diode will be reverse biased and no current will flow through this circuit. So we will be having this kind of waveform over here, right? This red line. Now here I am writing it in terms of time or omega t. We can take time or angle, right? If I'm going to write it in terms of time, then and if this is a 50 Hz supply, then we are going to have 2 pi as 0.02. Let me write it down for you. This will be 0.02, this will be 0.01, this will be 0.03, 0.04. So what is the benefit of writing in terms of omega t? The thing is that we are not concerned about the frequency right now. If it is a 60 Hz supply, then the value of 2 pi will be different. It will be 1 upon 60 then. Right now it is 1 upon 50. Let me correct it a bit. Okay, right now it is 1 upon 50 because I am taking the supply as 50 Hz. In American system it will be 60 Hz. So correspondingly the output waveform will be like this, and because the load is R load, the current will be in this form, and it can also be written in terms of time or omega t. Now mathematically this waveform, this red waveform, or this blue waveform, light blue waveform, can be written in this format. I am writing in terms voltage only, that V omega t, V output omega t will be equal to the supply voltage for the period of 0 to pi, and it will be equal to 0 from pi to 2 pi, right? So mathematically we can write it like this. And if I want to take the average value, then what I have to do is I have to take the average length 1 upon 2 pi and integrate the function from 0 to pi, because the thing is that our function is, this function is from 0 to pi only. From pi to 2 pi it is 0. So the second term that will be containing 0 is already omitted in this expression. So this V over here is the RMS value. You can do the analysis using Vm also, no problem. But the thing is that our supplies, we denote our supplies in terms of RMS values. So if we are saying that 230 volt, my socket is having 230 volt AC supply, then it means we are talking about its RMS value. So that's why I'm writing it like this. So by solving this integral in this form, I'm going to get the value of output voltage as 0.45 times the RMS value of the voltage. And of course, if I divide this by resistance, then it will be the average value of the current. Now let us talk about the RMS value. How I'm going to deal the RMS value? I'm going to do the square of the function and take the integral from 0 to pi and divide it by 2 pi, and I take the square root of this. The second part of this function will be 0, as we know. Now we will take the constant terms outside, okay, and the sine square of omega t can be written as 1 upon 2 1 minus cos 2 twice of omega t. This integration can be solved easily, and it will result, the whole expression will result in V upon root 2, RMS value of the voltage upon root 2. So now we are having the RMS value of the current or the voltage and the DC value of the voltage and the current and we know from our discussion earlier what is the form factor and what is the ripple factor by using the formula for the form factor, which is nothing but the RMS value upon the DC value. Let me write it in another color so you may remember. It should be V RMS upon V DC. Okay, and I can write the ripple factor, and it comes out to be 1.57, and the ripple factor is form factor square minus 1 under root, so it will come out to be 1.21.